From Oakland and Macomb County, meet JP Solar, a service-disabled veteran who turned a dirty problem into a clean business. His company helps homeowners keep their yards spotless with reliable dog waste removal services. Built on discipline, integrity, and commitment to serving the community, JP Solar is proving that even the messiest jobs can become a thriving local business. What is up, everybody? Today, we are here with Jared, known as JP Solar, and his business is...
Luxe dog waste removal.
Let's get into it. So Jared is a service-disabled veteran who served our country. So our first question is, when you came home, what did that transition look like, and how did it shape who you are today?
Oh, it was a very challenging one for me. Going from military life to civilian life. Being very regimented to not having really that big of a routine that I needed to get into, other than showing up for work. That was probably the biggest transition. Which now I get to apply that to this career.
What does service mean to you now that you're out of the military and running your own business?
I find that word has multiple meanings, honestly, to me. It depends on with respect to how it's being used. In this industry that I do, service to me means the highest quality that I can provide. I never want anybody to feel like I cheated them out of any money, or that the service that I provide is second rate. I find that you got two things. I feel you got your word and your name. And I promised everybody that I would provide top rate service, and I want my name and the Lux Dog brand to carry that, basically.
Tell us about Echo, your Dutch Shepherd, and how she inspired you to start this business.
All right. So Echo, she's a Dutch Shepherd that actually we got up here in Michigan prior to moving here. She's 2 years old, and she went to the bathroom a lot. Honestly, and I was having to scoop it up all the time, and I was like, there's a market for this. There's an industry for it. I started looking into it, and there really is an industry. It's slowly growing. It's starting to pick up a lot, actually. I see a lot of other poop scoop businesses that are popping up. But yeah, from having to do it for myself, I was like, I don't mind, so might as well do it for others and try to make a buck while I do it.
Yeah. You and your wife, Alexandra, built this together. What does it mean to have your partner by your side building something from the ground up?
For me personally, it means everything. She didn't share the dream at the beginning. I don't think anybody really wants to share a dream of going to pick up dog poop for a living or anything like that. But she always had my back. She was the biggest cheerleader, biggest supporter. Being able to work side by side with her every day is a really blessing. She picks me up whenever I get down with it, and she keeps me grounded. I live in the clouds too much.
Yeah, same here. Same here. That's what my wife is for me too. Yeah, me too. So for you, when you started this business, or when you were thinking about starting it, what was the moment that you really thought, like, this is a real thing, or like this is like something that has potential?
Oh man, this thing became real for me whenever I formed my LLC.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told my wife I wasn't gonna quit. Never quit anything. And I told her, I was like, we're gonna keep that same mentality. I was like, go for broke. Form the LLC. And I was like, all right, it's real. It's here.
Yeah.
I just need to make it work. I'll find a way. Figure it out.
Yeah.
Then we moved here in November. And matter of fact, the first weekend I was here was whenever the first snowfall happened. And I was like, of course, right in time to just halt all the picking up. Nobody's going to want to hire me for this time of the year. We had that first thaw whenever the snow melted, and we just started getting calls left and right. And that's whenever it really, really sunk in that we got a shot. That this could really make it.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. So you were getting a lot of local calls like near you, or was it more of like kind of like here and there? You got to kind of drive and do that stuff.
Primarily Oakland County.
Yeah. So you were getting them kind of all over.
Yeah. Troy, Bloomfield Hills, obviously, we're based out of. Then we have Rochester. Those were my first three. And then from there, it's just kind of snowballed a little bit and just kind of expanding out from there. I got one in Lake Orion that I go to on Saturdays. He's got a nice piece of property out there. You know.
All right. So you have regulars and everything.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
you have regulars, and then you have people that kind of just find you, and then maybe they only get like a one-time thing, or how does that work?
Yeah, so we actually offer multiple different types of service. You know, we offer the one-time clean, like the spring cleanup, or let's say if you're moving out of your house this time of the year, a lot of people are selling houses. If you're closing, you know, somebody's buying your house and you want to get out of there and you just want to leave the yard pristine for them, you can call us. We can come do a one-time clean. Other than that, we do weekly, bi-weekly, or once a month. And then for those that really want that luxury of never having to see any kind of dog presence, we offer twice a week.
I like
Yeah,
that
so-
dog presence.
yeah, dog presence. You know, landmines. Everybody calls them. You know,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call them.
Okay.
But yeah.
So did
that's-
you like did you learn anything from Texas that you could like carry it over with that, or was it still like kind of figure on like from square one here?
There's a lot of market research,
Hmm.
is what I would say I learned while I was in Texas. Uh, you know, looking at the market in Texas versus the market here, Texas really didn't have anybody here as far as or excuse me, not here, but there
Hmm.
as far as to base pricing off of or anything like that. So
Hmm.
here, I did have the competitors who were already established, but I noticed most of them were like franchises,
Hmm.
you know, and so I felt like we provided a more local feel,
Yeah.
you know, and then this past week, I've actually seen like 4 or 5 more local guys pop up, you know, which is awesome. I'm all for it, you know, free market, free enterprise.
Hmm.
Uh, you know, I feel like that's what made America great. So I'm all for whoever wants to come out and compete for it. You know,
Yeah. That's nice. Okay. So walk me through that again. So are you from Texas or?
No, actually, so quick down and dirty of my history. Born and raised in Louisiana.
Oh.
Joined the Marines right out of high school at 18. Did my 4 years. Went to Afghanistan during that time. Spent most of it in North Carolina whenever I wasn't deployed.
Hmm.
Moved back to Louisiana. I did construction.
Construction.
Things
Okay.
like
So
that.
you've always kind of worked with with your hands, with your
Yeah,
body
yeah,
kind of thing. Yeah.
definitely always been a very physical
Yeah.
person. So moved back to Louisiana. Um, Worked construction. Worked at a construction school that my stepfather owned. Did that for 7 years. Then actually decided to go to Texas A&M and went there. While I was in Texas A&M, I met my wife. She was actually teaching at the middle school there,
Hmm.
and then she was moonlighting as a bartender at a restaurant that I would go to. And one thing led to another. Fell in love with her. Thankfully, she fell in love with me,
Yeah.
and snatched her up, moved her back to Louisiana. Lived there for 4 years, where she blessed me with 2 beautiful kids.
Hmm.
Uh, After that, we moved to Texas for a year for work. And that's where we decided to go ahead and give it a shot originally. Like I was saying, that job got cut a little short, so we never were able to get Lux Dog off the ground there.
Hmm.
She's originally from here,
Okay.
so she asked, how I felt about moving to Michigan, being close to her family. I said, let's go for it. I'm kind of more of a nomad. I don't
Yeah.
mind moving around or anything. So moved up here. She's originally from Troy, so that's why Oakland County is where
Yeah.
we started. Yeah, it's just history now.
Nice.
Yes,
That's kind of cool. Yeah, you guys were pretty far away from here.
I moved, you know, right out of high school to the Marines, and it's not like whenever you go to college, like people go to college, you get your weekends, you get holidays, you get this and that, and it's like you get to the military and they tell you when. It's not like, oh, I want to take a break, this and that.
So walk me through how a Lux visit works. So like, how do you price things? How do you like? Do you have to give a quote ahead of time, or do you have like a one size fits all kind of approach? How does that
So
work? Like, what if you show up there and like say this owner hasn't cleaned their or they haven't picked up after their dog in like a year?
okay, so right now, with us trying to grow as a company, and try to be as competitive as we can, I set kind of a one size fits all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so one time clean, regardless of number of dogs, size of yard, last time clean, flat $100.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've done things that were quarter of an acre. I've done a guy's yard. He had, I think, 4.5 acres. $100. Um, if you actually do the monthly service, a weekly or bi-weekly, I'll go ahead and waive that initial spring clean. So if you sign up for the monthly service, I waive that. Now, as far as monthly service goes, that's price. I do it flat fee for the yard. I don't change anything about the size. I do it more so by the number of dogs. Yeah,
That
just
makes sense.
because
Yeah.
2 dogs goes theoretically twice as much,
Yeah.
as one dog does. But once you figure it out, it's not that bad. Whether it's 2 acres or a quarter of an acre.
Yeah. So like, how did you know what to price? Like, did you have to like test that out? Did you like see what other people were doing first, or
Yeah,
like,
so that's what I did. I
yeah,
based it off of I guess you could say like industry standards for this area. I wanted to price myself competitively, but then also I didn't want to underprice my value, or excuse me, put my value too low. Uh, I think one of the biggest issues a lot of companies have is if you price yourself too low, you basically price yourself out of the market because now you don't have the room uh, for the working capital to grow your business. All your money is being tied up already, so it's.
How do you how do you dispose of everything? Or do you like just leave it in their trash cans, or how does that work?
So yeah, right now everything gets left at the client's house. Everything gets bagged, double bagged, and left in their trash can. Eventually, I do want to offer to be able to take it away, but uh, without us actually having a commercial business, what do you call it? Just a commercial establishment. I can't get the right kind of receptacle. They won't let me put a dumpster at the house, and a regular trash can would fill up in about 2 days.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of the biggest issue with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so everything gets left there, but like I said, everything gets double bagged, sometimes triple bagged, depending on the time of year.
So it's not the first time I've ever heard of this kind of business with like the dog waste removal, but so as you can see here on our right, we got some of these geese.
Yeah.
Have you ever like in Michigan, like anytime I've gone like whether it be to like the hospital or like a business and there's like geese poop everywhere, would you ever consider like at some point like branching into like different species of pets? Like I know like here specifically there's a lot of deer droppings and that kind of stuff. And like the front office people here, I've heard them like receiving complaints from people about that. So like, is that even like on your radar of like other types of stuff, or are you just kind of all in focused on the dog stuff right now?
So yes, it is in the back of my mind. The issue is how can you pick it up efficiently and quickly.
Yeah.
Because I mean, a service industry, time is money. The number of yards I can do in an hour, determines my hourly rate basically.
Yeah.
So, picking up dog waste versus picking up deer waste, which you're talking about picking up basically, little raisins in comparison. That would take a lot more time and different equipment. So if I could figure out a way to do it efficiently, absolutely. Now as far as geese goes,
It's usually like mushy and stuff, right?
that I don't know how. I've thought about trying to figure out how to get rid of those golf courses.
Yeah.
And keep their areas clean. But yeah, I'm not too sure about it. Deer has been something I have thought about.
Oh, okay. When people see your business, whether it's your logo or you, like, what do you want them to know, or like, what do you want them to see when they see your name?
Yeah, honestly, I want them to see it and think that it is a trustworthy brand, and one that is quality. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want them to, like I said before, ever think that it's try to think of how to say it PG.
Like a half butt job.
Yes, yeah. We don't have anything, it's all whole. I would say that's the biggest thing. I never want anybody to feel like I cheated them or anything. I mean, I'd rather cost myself money by going out to your yard twice because you weren't happy with the service, than for you to have a negative image in your head whenever you saw my name.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's really well
Yeah,
said.
that's one of my biggest things. Yeah.
Okay. What advice do you have for some people? Like I've already interviewed people where they're not even a business owner yet. Let's just say some business owners I've interviewed, and then others have asked me, for advice and stuff they're too scared. Honestly, they don't know how to start. They don't know where to start. So like, if you had to give advice to someone that's too afraid or like they haven't done it yet, like what would be like the best advice you could give someone?
Uh, just go for it.
Just go for it.
Just go for it. I mean, honestly, like I had this idea probably 3-4 years ago now. And I just kept letting life and other things get in the way of it, and just kept coming up with all kinds of excuses. The way I wanted to design the logo and this and that. And it's like I didn't even form an LLC, and I was already thinking about a logo. I was thinking about how I was going to scoop it. And like I said, I didn't even have the LLC, and it was like it took me 20 minutes to form the LLC.
What service did you use? Do you remember?
Me, myself, and I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Was
it's
that
actually very, very simple to do, and there's enough, in my opinion. This is all educational purposes. None of
yeah,
this
yeah,
is
of
to be
course.
considered as legal advice or anything like that. Please don't come back on me.
Yeah.
But I believe that there's enough free information out there for you to be able to fill it out yourself. And if you do have questions, I personally found that the state of Michigan is actually very, very. They're willing to help you if you have questions on the application. I
Makes
had
sense.
questions, called them up, and they gave me the quick down and dirty of what I need to put on it.
Gotcha. What advice would you give for a fellow veteran?
For a fellow veteran, look into all the benefits that you can receive by starting an LLC in that state that you're in, especially if it's Michigan. There's a lot of great benefits for us. Um, a lot of them are regardless of what your disability percentage is, your rating. If you're 100% disabled, total and permanent, uh, the door's really, really open as far as what you can get help with. Definitely go for a business here.
Where do you see yourself with this business in 5 years?
I was joking with my wife about this one. Uh, Fortune 500? No. Yeah, I'd love to say that. But realistically, I'd love to see us as the household name for dog waste removal. I'd love to say 20 employees, 20 happy employees. I never want to be a company that somebody's miserable working at. Uh, and clients beating down our doors, wanting our service. I feel like kind of like a little tangent real quick. 20, 30 years ago, whenever people were putting swimming pools in, everybody was taking care of their own pools. And they had this one guy who was like, you know what, I'm gonna go around and take care of people's pools for them. And people were like, oh, you're crazy. That's not going to be a viable business.
Who would pay for that?
Who would do that?
Yeah.
Right. Who would pay for that? Yeah. Now look at it. Somebody puts a pool in. One of the first questions that they get asked is, are you going to have somebody come take care of it, or are you going to take care of it yourself? I feel like this industry is going to grow. Hopefully by that time, hopefully in the next 5 years, where if you were to go up to somebody who says that they're thinking about having a pup, not having a puppy, but getting a puppy, oh, you're gonna take care of the dog waste yourself, or you're gonna hire somebody, and hopefully I'll be the one that everybody gets recommended to.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, so going into that then, like do you have a marketing strategy? Do you pay for like Facebook ads? Do you does it all word of mouth? Like I guess like how did you go from beginning to like where you are now?
So honestly, posting in every single Facebook group that would allow me.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much been it, and kind of boots on the ground. I went and dropped off a ton of business cards to different pet places. A few veterinarians, some dog grooming places.
What was the reception like? Like when you walked in and said, I have this company, here's my card. Like, is it like a shock to them too, or has this become more common where like they know about that type of service?
More common.
Yeah, okay.
especially if you're in like the pet business already. They knew about this side of it. But it seemed like every single one of them I went to, I was the first one who thought to do it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so it was great. I mean, it's most of them I don't want to say a warm welcome, but it was a very friendly welcome.
Yeah.
9 out of 10 of them didn't have an issue or problem with me leaving a little clear plastic business card stand, with some business cards in it. And, we got a ton of referrals from MVP groomers.
Nice.
That is one of my biggest ones. Yeah.
Okay. Is there any questions that you wanted to ask or anything? Is there anything that you wanted to tell any like potential customer? How about that?
Oh, potential customers.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go. Okay. So I said it earlier. $100 one-time clean, spring clean, waived if you do the weekly or bi-weekly sign up for service. I also am offering 25% off for your first 3 months. Uh, Again, if you sign up for the weekly or bi-weekly cleanup, that code is Luxe LUXE 25, all caps.
Awesome.
So if you throw that in, you get your first 3 months 25% off.
Awesome. Yeah, and then I'll make sure to get that from you too, and I'll post it in the.
Okay. Yeah.
Make sure it's in the comments too. Okay.
Echo. Other than her serving as the design, the logo on my business cards, the logo on our website, that is as close to her as I could get. It's a Dutch Shepherd that I took a picture of her, put into Chat GPT whenever I was designing the website. So like I originally hired someone to do the website, and I was happy with it. Don't get me wrong, I was happy, but then I needed more. I started like me and my wife literally did everything from the ground up, and she helped me as far as design layout, all that kind of stuff. Like I said, the website was live, and I was just not happy with it, and so I started reading books on SEO and a lot of other things on web design, used WordPress and all that kind of stuff. And she was right there with me, helping me. She was telling me, "Oh, this looks good. That doesn't look good. Take that picture off. Put that picture in." Adjust the layout of the website. Helped me constantly because I'm not big on social media, and I'm not big on like all of that kind of stuff. I'm working on it. But so that's been her side of it mainly. And then my side was the website, with all that. But she's truly been instrumental. I couldn't do it without her. If you call, most likely you're going to be talking to her.
Oh, that's a good one then.
Yeah.
Okay, so when they call, they more probably talking to her.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10. If it's a woman, it's her. If it's a guy, it's me. We're that small right now.
Does she ever? Is she? Are you guys at the point where like you've ever had to ask her to go do a job because you're already like on one or something? Do you think she would, or she's not?
I think she would. I think she would if it came down to it, where I just could not get it fit in to my schedule. But it hadn't come to that yet. I love to send you that to record it. If it did come to that, I'd like to have evidence that she did it.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, she's just been, she's been the rock for all this.
Absolutely.
That's the most important thing I got to say about it. She's been my biggest supporter. Like I said, the biggest cheerleader I could have ever asked for. Yeah, Echo is just our little mascot. Not little. I mean, she's 64, 68 pounds right now. She got a little winter weight on her.
Yeah.
Like the rest of us,
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. So the one thing that I enjoy about this job is, like I said, it's a solo job whenever you get on the job, because the homeowner doesn't have to be there or anything like that.
That's good to know.
You don't have to walk the yard with me or anything. Most of the time, the first visit, I like for the homeowner to be there if possible, just to show me property lines if there's no fence.
How do you like to? So this is great content here. So like when you show up, do you like to meet the dogs, or like what if they leave the dog in the backyard, or like do you ask them to bring them inside while you're doing the service, or you know what I mean? Like
no, I absolutely
no aggressive dogs.
I love meeting the dogs.
Okay.
The that's why I do it. Is I am a huge fan of dogs. I love dogs. I love, so far, knock on wood, every single dog I've met has been a great dog. I enjoy meeting them. I don't have a problem if they want to leave the dog out while I scoop. I I don't have a problem if the dog is out whenever I get there, especially if you have a gate. Some people have the invisible fences. I definitely don't recommend leaving the dog out if there is an invisible fence, unless you're
Yeah.
home. Um, if you do think your dog is gonna maybe nip at me, yeah, I'd appreciate it if you put them up,
Okay.
or at least be there for the first introduction.
Yeah. So
So if anything does go wrong, you're there. I mean, uh, that dog is the whole reason why I'm here. So, I like to meet them and almost in a sense thank them.
yeah,
'Cause, like,
right.
if
Yeah.
it wasn't for what they're doing, I wouldn't be here.
They're
I wouldn't
they're
have
they're kind
have
of
a
pooping
job.
out money for you, right?
Yeah, they're brown as my green.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
That's a good saying.
whenever I get there, first thing I do, after I introduce myself, if it's first visit or uh, any visit after that, first thing I do whenever I get there is I sanitize all my equipment.
Oh, good. That's good.
I spray everything with a disinfectant that way that there's no cross contamination. If I went to a house and that dog may be carrying some kind of parasite or something like that, it will not be transferred to your yard to potentially be transferred to your dog.
Awesome.
So I do that, and then if you have a gate, obviously go through the gate, close it behind me, make sure it's secure, and then I start walking your whole property, basically doing it in a 3 foot wide scan the whole way and just zigzag back and forth. Once I'm done, double bag everything up. If you have a gate, I close it. I send you a picture of it, closed and locked,
Oh, that's
through my
good.
portal that we have. That way that that the gate is secure. For if you come home and you let your dog out, you don't want to go check the gate. It's just right there. It's shady that it's and then go back to my vehicle and I sanitize everything again. That way, if I forget whenever I get there by some chance, I did it at the previous stop, so we're still covered.
Yeah.
So I'd rather a redundancy than some kind of issue that could be fatal to a dog.
That's absolutely awesome. Yeah. So that's one thing I think I want everyone in my audience to know too about you is that I could tell that you take this extremely seriously. You operate with, like very honorably, like you have the customer in mind, you have safety in mind. So that means a lot to me when I, show you off to or not show you off, but
Little dog and pony.
when I say oh, check out this business, check out this business owner,
Yeah.
I can tell you're genuine and you're making a good name for yourself and you doing a really good job. So
yeah, I appreciate that.
yeah, that's good.
Like I said, I feel like you got two things. You got your name and you got your word. And if your word means nothing, your name means nothing. So I want everybody to know that I'm serious about it, that it's a good business, that if they call, they're going to get quality service. Like I said before, I can't thank you enough for the opportunity to do this.
All right, that's going to wrap up our spotlight with JP Solar. Getting to sit down and talk with him today, it's really clear that he's someone who genuinely cares about the work he does and the people he serves. He's a service-disabled veteran, and it's always admirable to see veterans continuing to serve their communities in new ways after their time in the military. Businesses like this are built on integrity, hard work, and a real desire to help others. If you're in Oakland or Macomb County and looking for a reliable dog waste removal service, JP Solar and Luxe Dog Waste Removal is someone you can trust. And if you're a Michigan small business that would like to be featured on Michigan Small Business Spotlight, reach out to us. We love sharing the stories of the people building and strengthening our communities. Until next time, keep supporting local Michigan businesses.